Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be part 24 of our Snowflake Zero to Hero series. In this video, we will be discussing about the Snowflake Streams, means how the Snowflake Stream is going to help you to implement the change data capture. Now, before that, let me just give you one very simple example that why the CDC is required and where exactly you will be implementing it. Just imagine you have one table. Well, let me just come to the Snowflake. We have, let's say, this employee data. And now, if any one of your team member is making some operations like insert, delete, or update, and you wanted to capture or you wanted to basically know that who made the changes or like whether the insert happened, delete happened, or update happened. And just to figure it out, you probably would be like comparing with the row versioning, or like you may be requiring like you may take help of time travel, or otherwise you are just going to take a snapshot of like the tables, or you're going to compare with the backup of the table and then going to figure out, which is going to be very time consuming. But the Snowflake help us, like has the stream concept, which is going to help you to capture all the DML changes whatever we are going to make on it. Okay, so in this one, let's say what are streams in Snowflake? It's basically a CDC mechanism used to track changes in the data at the row level in Snowflake. So if I'm going to insert anything, delete it, or like update, it is going to capture all the operations performed by any user on that table and going to store into the streams. Now that stream does not actually store any data, but it's a store only and only the offset. So how it works, we will be understanding in the next slide. But the streams record DML operations that are made to table or views. We can create it on the tables, views, dynamic table, external table, event table, or iceberg tables. But most of the time, most of you will be either creating the streams on the normal tables or views or external tables. Okay, how exactly stream works? So before going technically, let me give you a very simple example. Suppose this is your room or this is your house, and you are going to like you are staying alone. You leave office every day at 9 a.m. in the morning and then come back around 6 or 7 p.m. Now, in your room, you have this table, you have here the television, you have couch here. Okay, if anyone jumped in, or basically one thief tried to like entered in your room or entered in your flat, and he took away few things like a remote from here and your shoes and let's say the small things. Now, when you will come back like from the office, it is going to be very complicated for you, or like not very difficult for you to identify whether any thief get into your room and just stole some items, because he took away like very small things. So in simple word, if you have a 10 million of records in a table and someone is performing some 500 or 1000 insertion or updation like DML activities, then for you it is going to be very difficult to track that. Now, suppose if it is happening multiple times, then you would be quite dubious that what is actually happening, because I am living alone. Where is my remote? Where is my shoes? Where is my clothes and all? That you won't be able to figure out. So your friend is going to suggest one idea that why don't you install a CCTV camera? So he's going to help you to in like one contact number, and you install two CCTV cameras. Now, how this is going to help you? So, if let's suppose there is any thief, any new guy is trying to jump in your room and jump in your flat, and if he's going to take anything or he's going to put anything in your room, you will get to know by just simply on your mobile or however you have configured. Otherwise, this CCTV camera is going to capture the records, and then you're going to watch on your television. So that exactly the streams work into the Snowflake. So it is going to take the snapshot. But yeah, one more thing. So this Snowflake, how you will be identifying, because you are the camera is going to take photos of every minute or going to like record it. Understand that camera is going to take capture of photos in like a previous movies and all, and then you are comparing photos by photos, and then you will find the differences, or you will find exact what exactly happened. So the stream actually taken snapshot of the table. So if I do have 500 records, 500 rows, then stream is going to take the snapshot of every rows. Then once this is created, then stream begins recording the changes. So if I'm making any changes on that, then it's gonna compare that previous snapshot with this existing operations, and then it is going to capture those whatever happened, like it's whether it's an insertion, update, or delete. So this each change event contains state of the row before and after the changes, and the metadata about like the action, whether it is insert, delete, and update. Okay, so in this, just a second, the stream metadata column, you will be having three column. One is metadata action, second is metadata update, and the third is the metadata row ID. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly recap that. Stream object is basically record the DML changes, whatever made on any tables, include insert, update, and deletes. Stream does not record any data, does not hold any information. It just like going to store the metadata information of these three columns, the metadata action and update. So it consumes only like small amount of storage. Okay, now understand that stream is going to be as a bookmark, which is going to indicate a point in time in the page of a book. So which bookmark can be thrown away and other bookmark can be inserted at the different time. Like if you are reading one book, suppose if you could not understand this example, you are reading one book and you are reading you started reading a book from page number 1 to 10, you are going to put the bookmark on page number 10. Now when you are going to start it again or the next day, you will be like throwing away that bookmark, or you will be putting it at a different location. Okay, so now let's just understand how it's gonna work. So to create a stream, or to understand that I right now I do have in my employee data, I do have 15 records. Okay, I'm taking an example of this employee data, and if I'm deleting anything, suppose I wanted to write delete from employee data, but yeah, okay, before that let me just insert this one. Rather than deleting, I'm inserting this. Now if I'm going to run select star from employee data, I cannot find out which record had been inserted, probably because this is a very small records, like we just have 15 or 16, so we can get some idea that yeah, this one is the last record got inserted if we do have any load date time at all. But what if there is any deletion or any updation in the columns, then it will be very difficult to track it. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I will be creating a stream. That's how you can create a replace stream, stremp, and on the table. There are few other parameters which we will be talking about later, but if you can see, this is how I'm going to create the stream. And then if you are going to write source streams, it will going to show you a few things. Okay, so this one is stale after. Let's understand one by one. So when it got created, it's 11:41, but it's basically 12th Feb. That means it is going to be yeah, it's a US time, but in India it's going to be 1 a.m. in the morning. This is the name, the database name, account admin, and then we can see the table name, the base table on which it got created. Then the type is delta mode default. This will you will be understanding when I'm going to create another stream, that what it is going to do. Now, this is very important, the stale after. That means if I have created the changes, and now if I'm going to make any operation on this, if I'm going to XYZ, like going to delete it, going to insert anything which I'm going to do is, that is going to be there in the stream for next 14 days. So this 12 to 4, like it's going to be till 14 days only, and after that if you are not going to consume the changes, it will get stale, means it will get lost. So in simple word, if you have that CCTV footage in your camera, in your like the camera is actually storing it in your hard disk, but if and it's basically having a small memory card of 1 GB, but if you're not going to utilize that footage within 14 days, then that footage will automatically get deleted and you won't be able to recover it. I hope that clears the point. Now, How would I query the streams? So it's very simple. Just like querying a normal table, you can query the stream. So if you will look at it, there we have all the columns like ETL load date. But if you'll scroll to the right, you will be finding these three metadata columns: metadata action, update, and row ID. So this action is going to tell you whether it is insert or delete. Update, it's going to show you whether it is the operation was part on of update or not. And this is going to be update represented delete plus insert pair. So by theory, you may not be able to get it, but when I'm going to showcase you, you will definitely understand. Then which is having a metadata row ID, which is like a unique identifier for each row, and that is useful for tracking changing over period of time. Now, this is how streams visuals basically like how it is going to be utilized, how you are going to see that in your Snowflake. So suppose this is your first table, table 1 at V1, like means a version 1, where this record got inserted. Okay, so as we can see, the black one is insert, the red is delete, and blue is update. Now, when it got inserted, it got one record with this insert, update, and row ID. But when we have updated, is basically going to show you two records. And this metadata update is coming true. So if I'm going to update any record, then first it is going to delete it and then going to insert. But how? Let's just understand one thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the very basic thing. I'm just going to write delete from employee data where AMP ID equal to 999. Let's see how it works. I have deleted it. Now one record got deleted, but if I'm going to query the stream, then it will be having the one record. So this is how you can get to know that yes, this is one record got deleted from employee data. Now if you will scroll to the right and you will find this metadata action is delete. That means someone has removed this rows from the table. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform one more thing, which is basically here. I'm inserting like 4 times 9. It's not just Rena, it's just going to be Samay. And let me just put it as Pune. And then I'm going to insert. Now I have inserted one records, and if you will look at the select star from str employee, you get two records. One is basically deleted, but this one is inserted. But both the records having metadata is update equal to false. That means these records or these results was not part of the metadata update. Means like not part of the update query. Now, if I go and write select star from employee data and I'm gonna update set name equal to any random name we do have. Yeah, this one we have A. So what I'm gonna do is set name equal to Avinash where name equal to A. Now, this one record got updated. We see number of rows updated. And earlier, we were having already two record in this stream. So how many record it should have now? What do you think? Is it going to have three? Answer is no. It will be having four records. As you can see, this is having a four record now. And if you will look at it, there is one is A, and that we have deleted, which is metadata update is true, and this one is insert and metadata is equal to true. But how we are going to identify whether this A was there and Avinash we made it based on this metadata row id. So if I'm going to sort by row id, you will be checking these two operations are going to have a same row id, and it's a combination of insert and delete, and metadata is update equal to true, and you can see that this A got deleted first and then Avinash got inserted. In simple word, if you wanted to understand how it works, so consider that there is a monitor class monitor who is actually writing the name of those students who are making a noise on the whiteboard, on the blackboard, or on the blue board. So suppose I am the monitor and I write a A. Now, this other guy who told me that, oh, it's not the A actually, it's the Avinash. So, first I'm going to erase it. That means I'm going to delete it. And then next, I'm going to write A to Avinash. So, that's how it is going to be captured in by the Snowflake. Okay. I hope that's clear that how it is going to capture. Now, the problem is I wanted to actually utilize this data, but right now this is only and only for the 14 days. What if I wanted to keep this data for minimum 20 days? Okay, suppose there is a requirement that I want the user should be able to keep these changes for at least 20 days. In this case, I do have one property. I'm sure that you have already gone through with this, the retention period. Now, in this case, I'm going to do alter table employee data, and then I'm going to write set max data extension in days equal to 20. Now, when I'm going to, oh, it's a invalid property, set max data extension. Oh, my bad, my bad. It's going to be extension time in days. Okay, now this is the property we do have. I set it up. Now, if you are going to run command like, okay, why this caps is on, show streams, and if you'll scroll to the right, you will find that this has become now 4/3/2025. Earlier, it was 27th Feb, and that means like 14 days, but now it's 20 days, and it is going to be stale after 4/3/2025. And this is the max you can set up to 90 days. And that's how, if you think that, okay, no, I wanted to keep this track for next 90 days, so you can, this is how you can like update the stale period. Now, coming to the type of the streams, so we do have three types of stream. One is standard, append only, and insert only. So this standard, okay, it's basically, this is the type delta we can see over here, which is a standard type. That means it means like, sorry, the mode is default. That means it is going to capture, delete, insert, update everything. However, if there is a requirement for you that it should only and only capture the inserted, means the only records is being added by the some users, for that I am gonna create a new stream, that is create or replace stream, and this is going to be str2 emp, and then I'm gonna write on table employee data. Again, I'm going to create, oh sorry, my bad, and then but here I'm going to write append only equal to true. Now, when I'm going to write append only equal to true and going to check show streams, if I scroll to the right, I can see the stale after period is fine, but look at the mode. So if it is default, that means it's standard, which is going to capture, insert, update, and delete changes. But if it is append only, you made it as true, that means it is going to capture only and only the inserted records. Now you make like have a doubt, then why do we have this insert only streams when we have this append only? The reason, because insert only streams are only and only for Apache Iceberg or external table. It is append only cannot be used on these external tables. So for that, it is going to be you like created insert only. However, this is going to deliver the same purpose. That means it is going to have going to capture only the inserted records. Okay, now let me just show it to you. So if I am gonna create, let's say we do have created. Now what I'm gonna do is I am going to write, the data is already there. So let me try to delete something. So select star from employee data, and let's say I'm just going to delete this record. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is delete from employee data where name equal to Anshi, and let's see that. Now when I'm going to do it, select star from str to emp, I will not be having any record. The reason, because I deleted it and the stream was capturing only the append only records. Now if I'm going to insert one more records, like one record in this, and that I am going to change it. I'm going to make it to Anshi here, and this record is going to be 1001 like that, and rest everything is same. And if I inserted it, now I will be having a record in the streams. Okay, so if the requirement is to capture only the inserted record, then you will go for append only. Okay, so that's how you can create it. I do not have, sorry, yeah, I do have an extendable. So if I wanted to create an insert only, let's suppose that on the same table, if I try to create insert only, because it's a normal table, and what if I'm going to write insert only equal to true, then what will happen? And I'm going to create a third stream because I do not want it to get an error that the stream already exists. And you can see it can only and only be created in accident table or iceberg table. Okay, let me see if I do have an external table in my schema, this raw layer. If yes, then I'll definitely gonna create these tables. Yeah, this is my ext table. So if I'm gonna use this my case, what I have to mention, like external table, and then I'm going to write it. And that's how this the stream on external table can be created. Now, if I wanted to consume it or I wanted to change the offset, so how offset is going to be created? That once you have understood or once you have consumed the data, so this is going to be change the offset. For that, you are going to write create or replace table that is like consumed stream, something like that. Consumed stream as select star, and I'm going to use this exclude keyword because I do not want these metadata columns. So I'm gonna write in such a way that select star from str to employee, and here I am gonna write this one, exclude metadata action, metadata row id. I do not want these two columns from str employee. And now if you will run this command, then if you will look at the data into the consumed stream, you will be having few records. Okay, and only the row id is coming so that you can identify that which record belongs to which operation. Okay, but the surprising fact is if you're going to query this stremp now, it won't be having any records because you have consumed it. That means the memory, the data from this the camera memory you have transferred into the hard disk, so that's why there is no data. Okay, so that's how you can change the offset, or that's how you can basically consume the streams. Okay, now where exactly you will be using it, it's basically to implement a scd or to implement an incremental load. In this is the like two major use case which you will be implementing it. And in the next video we will be discussing about the task, and that's where I will try to show you the use case of the streams and the task together to implement scd type m1 and type 2. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have liked it. Please share with your friends and comment it. Thank you.